Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's makeup tutorial is going to be a simple smoky eye technique. If you like this look you see here, stay tuned. So starting off, I've already got my brows finished here. I just use the same technique I showed in a few previous videos using my e.l.f. liquid liner and the Almay liquid liner to achieve that look. But I've already got my lids primed, as you can see, with the Put a Lid on It primer from the Balm Cosmetics. And I'm just starting off with a transitional color here. I'm just using kind of like a soft medium brown here, just as a nice transition for the smoke we're about to do. So I'm going into my Coastal Scents double stack palette here, and I'm going to be using this lighter purple here to start the smoky effect. So I'm working on the outer corner, and then I'm using windshield wiper motions to blend it out and bring it across, and I'm using small circular motions on the inner corner to complete it. So circular on the outer, circular on the inner, and windshield wiper right in the crease. I'm going to deepen that up a little bit with a slightly darker purple and just kind of copying the same technique. Circular motions on the outer and inner, and windshield wipers across the top of the crease. Be careful not to go too much over the purple that we've already set. We do want to have that nice kind of like gradient effect there. So I'm going to deepen that up a little bit more with a rich like caramel brown color, and I'm just going kind of between that transitional color that we put there in the beginning and the lighter purple that we used. So I'm just kind of blending between the two of those, and I'm kind of putting it on a little heavy on the outer side because I want it to create a deeper effect. So just to add a little pop of color, I'm using this like frosty light blue color here, and I'm just putting that right in the little space that we left on our primary lid. You kind of want to blend it out because we don't want like a really sharp, harsh edge. So I'm going to go back in with that same blending brush and just kind of blend right around where those corners are. So everything is nice and seamless. I'm just deepening it up a little bit more with that purple again, just in the inner corner there, and a little bit on the outer. So I'm not going to do too much with eyeliner in this look, but I am going to smoke out the bottom of my eyes a little bit as well. So I'm just going in with my Italia Deluxe liner in the color Jet Black and just lining my waterline. So I'm going back into my 252 palette, and I'm just using, I think it's the same caramel color that I used on the outer portion of my smoky eye, and just kind of setting it with that. Oh, excuse me, that was a lighter brown. This is that color that I used on my outer portion there. They look so much alike. So I'm just setting right underneath my waterline and kind of dragging it down just a little bit. Go in with makeup wipe and just clean up any excess, any fallout. So now I'm going to go into my highlighting. I'm using the Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer and the color Medium Deep, and I'm just going over my primary highlighting spots, just my cheekbones, under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. And I've used this concealer a few times before, and I like it pretty well. It can crease up a little bit depending on, I found it kind of depends on the foundation that I use, not so much whether or not I set it. But I'm using Studio Fix in this tutorial, and it worked out really well with the Studio Fix. Using it wet and then letting it dry, I guess, helped to set the concealer, so that worked out well. Just going in highlighting here, and also kind of concealing any dark spots I have like on my chin or any darkness around my mouth, and going in touching up on the forehead. So I'm using my MAC Studio Fix in the color NC50, and I'm actually going to be using it wet. So I'm using a setting spray from Mary Kay. Any setting spray will work. I just spritz my brush a few times and just lightly work that product all over my face. And I like using it this way because it gives a nice sheer effect, but I still get a nice amount of coverage with it. But it's not like really heavy or really cakey, where using Studio Fix in the powder form can be a little bit heavy. So I'm going to just use a blush for my contour. I'm using my favorite, Fashion Fair's blush in Chocolate Chip, and I'm just using that to contour my whole face. So first starting off with my cheekbones. And just outlining the rest of my face, my jawbone, my forehead, my nose. Gives a nice warm contour. I'm just going to go on top of that with a little bit of shimmery bronzer. I'm using e.l.f. the color Warm Tan, and I'm just going to transition those two with a blush by MAC, and the color is Raisin. Just kind of blending out that bit of contour there. So just disappeared for a sec to put on my lashes, got those bad boys on, and now I'm going on to my lips. So I'm lining my lips with NYX's lip liner in the color Earth Tone. It's one of my absolute favorites. I love this lip liner. And as always, I'm just kind of fading in it a little bit in the corners, in the bottom as well, fading it in the corners. I just find it helps to give your lipstick and everything a nice transition so it doesn't look like you just have a ring around your lips with the liner. So I'm going in with my Butter Lipstick by NYX in Snow Cap, and I'm topping that with an Aqua Luxe gloss in the color Do the Hustle. And that's the finished look.